The whole Marvel Legends Fantastic Four wave has arrived, but let's take a closer look at Johnny Storm. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four First Steps wave. As in front of us today, we have Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. However, this is Johnny in his civilian mode. Of course, we do get him flamed on in his Human Torch mode, but that is a separate figure. So I do like that we got both of these in the same wave, so we can sort of represent his power set if you wish. Some people may not even buy this one and just go straight to powered up, but I like having the options in display. We will take a look at the Human Torch in a separate video, of course, so we can dedicate the time to this. And is the likeness any good to Joseph Quinn? I don't think we're used to seeing him as a blonde, so for us it's not quite right, but looking in person, it's not that bad. We do get those terrible flamed effects that we have had a million times with Marvel Legends and some interchangeable hands, but we have the retro Fantastic Four packaging. He has his little emblem. We get a picture of him on the side and the back, and even on the promo imaging, he looks weird with blonde hair, but we will find out for ourselves when we open him up. Here we have Johnny out of the packaging with his accessories on the table. They are unfortunately just a set of fisted hands and then these Marvel Legend flame effects that we have seen 1,000 times. You just wrap them around the wrist. They're a little hint, a little tease of his flaming on ability. Luckily, we do have the fully powered up version in this same wave. Let me get the tape measure out so you can see Johnny stands at just over 6 inches in height. And for anyone thinking that this is just a straight up repaint of Reed Richards with a different head, well, you'd be wrong, as I myself was surprised to see they are completely different in sculpt from head to toe. Even the boots are different, the legs are different. Maybe it's just the crotches and the gloves that are the same, but the arms are even sculpted different. So yes, body's different, legs different, boots different, arms different. It's all in that textured, sculpted detail. So I'm happy to say it isn't just a straight up repaint. The details are there. And if I bring in the tape measure just one more time, you can see that Johnny is maybe just a smidge taller, but that's probably just due to his thicker blonde hair. But we are not used to seeing Eddie in his blonde hair. I say Eddie, it's of course Joseph Quinn, but we know him from Stranger Things. We're used to seeing him with those luscious long locks. So let's take a closer look. So zooming in on our Johnny Storm head sculpt portrayed by Joseph Quinn, like I mentioned, and one of the running themes of this wave so far is the likenesses have definitely been better in person than those original promo images made us believe. So I'm very curious to see what you think on this one. Do you see the actor, Joseph Quinn, in this head sculpt? Sometimes it's about angles. You've got to get the light to hit it just right. The digital face printing is nice and clean. I like the blue eyes. I like the blonde hair with a little dirtiness to it. Very nicely sculpted all the way around. I actually think his hair is a little bit too thick. At least based off the trailer, he seems to have a thinner sort of head of hair than we have with this Marvel Legend. And to me, it sort of looks like a young Edward Norton with blonde hair rather than Joseph Quinn. But you let me know what you think. Again, it's a nice head sculpt, whoever this gentleman is, but maybe he needs that blonde hair to be a little bit shorter. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. I'll throw up some side-by-side so you can see for yourself. Again, sometimes I don't notice until I'm in post, so that's why the comments is always very useful. But yeah, got to get the light to hit it just right. Does it look like Joseph Quinn? Johnny Storm? Time will tell. Taking a look at the rest of his outfit then, like I mentioned right at the start, the sculpt work and the texturing on this figure is definitely different to what we've seen on Reed Richards, as now you've got these lines going down from the turtleneck and they run all the way down the white sleeve across the arms, which prove that the arms are a different sculpt as well. And unlike Reed, you can't pull the arms out either. So definitely different sculpt on here, but you still have the nice and clean 4 emblem sort of printed on the front there. The texturing does continue around the back as well. The belt design with the white gloves and belt and the black trim is very nice. It does pop against the background for sure. And then you've got the blue trousers going all the way down to the boots again with the black trim on the white boots. Some nice sculpt work and texturing throughout this figure. So yeah, again, with MCU figures, the detail is always there for sure. And the articulation is exactly the same as Reed. The arm goes up to 90. There's a bicep swivel, very nice double jointed pinless elbow. You cannot be mad at that range there. You've got the rocker at the torso. So instead of an ab crunch, you have the rocker. So that's where you're going to get your hula in effect. You get your tilt side to side and then a little bit back, a little bit forward. Always more back than forward. The swivel is actually hidden above the belt. So I like it when they hide the articulation within the character design. You've got the legs that go out that much. You do have the thigh cut and a double jointed pinless knee. If I can get that to bend all the way. Yes, I can. There it is. He can kick his own back, no problem at all there. No boot swivel, again, always frustrating when the boot sort of leaves the perfect place to hide the articulation if they just cut it there. But yeah, no boot swivel. You do have ankle pivot and rocker though, however. So yeah, standard articulation for Marvel Legends as we have come to expect. Not mad at it. I think you'll still be able to get him into some nice poses. Out of the box, he comes with two sort of open palm gesturing hands, but we also get a set of fisted hands as well. In regards to accessories, we get the two flamed effects that we have seen a million times from Marvel Legends, let's be honest. Look, I'm not mad at it. I understand if it's a character that is some way related to fire or mystical effects, they're probably going to pack these in. I'd rather these than nothing. However, it would be nice for them to try something different on occasion, but maybe internally they think if it's not broke, don't fix it. But yeah, they're just a soft piece of plastic that wrap around anywhere you want. You can wrap them around the wrists, the forearms, you can wrap them around the legs. But yeah, just a little tease, a little hint of his flaming ability. Again, if you're a Marvel Legends collector, you know what these are. These are like an orangey yellow version, but we've all got plenty of them. And I want to say, don't forget this guy also has that little communicator on the wrist, which is a separate piece. So when you're swapping out the hands, that might pop off and get eaten by the carpet monster. So please be careful. Don't lose his little communicator. He wants to stay in contact with the rest of the team. Now, of course, in this very same wave, we do get the fully powered up, flamed on version of the Human Torch. So can we swap any parts to make this guy a little bit more fun? Well, you're going to have to wait until the next video. No, not really. I'll do it now. Here we have the fully flamed on Human Torch from this Fantastic Four wave. So there we have our Johnny Storm regular and our Johnny Storm powered up. Two Johnnies. We are extra protected on this video. So can we swap any of these parts around to create like a middle ground? Can we swap the head? Can we swap the hands? Let's try it. And would you look at that? The answer is yes. So I've swapped out the head and I've swapped out the hands. So now we have our partly flamed on Johnny Storm. So he can even get in a really nice flying pose as the head is on a disc and hinge. So you can see him looking straight forward with his flying flat palmed hands as well. So I just wanted to show you that. If you wanted to make a sort of mid-transformation. To be fair, we haven't seen the film yet, so we don't know the context. We don't know if there are any scenes where he is partly transformed. It may be accurate. Time will tell on that one. But let me zoom out for a moment, spinning background. So as I said, the head is on a disc and hinge, so you can get him looking up and looking down really well. And the head does pop on, no problem at all. And because he's wearing a really long turtleneck, you don't have to worry about the neck being a different colour either. Like, don't get me wrong, the flesh tone is there, but when you've got him posed up like that, you can't really see. And again, you can wrap on these effect pieces anywhere you want. You want to give them a little bit of extra flamed sort of effect. So you can wrap them around the legs if you really wanted to while his hands are all flamed on. But again, if you're a Marvel Legends collector, I'm sure you've got tons of stuff like this. Or maybe you've even got fire effects and you can get them on a flight stand. But yeah, there you go. You can use parts of this guy to create a partly transformed Johnny Storm if you buy both. And yes, of course, you can pop this head onto the flamed on body as well if you were curious. The more time I spend with this head sculpt, by the way, the more I see Joseph Quinn in there. Maybe I'm being brainwashed, I don't know, but it's a nice head sculpt. He just has too much hair. His hair's too thick, that's what it is. And this is what people want to see. Here we have Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, with the rest of Marvel's first family. We've got Ben Grimm the Thing, Sue Storm the Invisible Woman, and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Honestly, these look so good together, and I now have a review up on my channel for every single one of these individually, giving you a deep dive and a closer look at the likeness and interchangeable parts and all that good stuff. Check out the videos tab or find the playlist. Should be very easy to find. I am very impressed with these so far. They genuinely do look better in hand. It's great that we can complete a team straight away. They complement each other. They look great. It makes me look forward to the movie. I just hope I really like the movie, because then I can be even happier that I'm going to come home and already have these figures, these characters ready to go to implement into the Marvel Legends collection. So if you have these in hand for yourself and you're an MCU fan, then I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. But if you're on the fence and then you end up liking the movie, don't hesitate. These are really nice. For our comic Johnny Storm / Human Torch comparisons, this is what we've got on the table. We've got the Dan Slott Johnny Storm, the retro carded Johnny Storm, then we've got the retro carded Human Torch, and then go all the way back, and this was the Walgreens exclusive Human Torch. And you've always been able to mix and match the pieces and accessories to sort of create the version of Johnny Storm you want on the shelf. So I'm going to take the back piece off this guy with the flames and attach them onto our new Johnny Storm from the movie. And again, that also already adds another element of being flamed on without being fully flamed on, if that makes any type of sense. So yeah, it's just nice to have display options, of course, but it is comic versus MCU, so it's up to you if you mix and match, but people may want to see a head swap. Let's try that. So here we have our Joseph Quinn head on the retro carded body. It works, it pops on, completely up to you if you want to do that. But then here we have the retro carded Johnny Storm head on the movie body. And again, that works really well as well, doesn't it? So again, just giving you options. And here we have the rest of the comic retro carded Fantastic Four for comparison. But I do apologize, as once again, I just couldn't find Sue Storm. The Invisible Woman is nowhere to be seen. But here we have at least Reed Richards and Ben Grimm. I'm so sorry. Back into the world of live action now, and somebody left a nice comment on one of my previous videos asking to see Johnny Storm compared to Peter Parker Spider-Man, as they are of course best friends in the comics. So here we have Peter Parker and the Final Swing Spider-Man. Some more figures he may interact with in live action. We've got Sam Wilson's Captain America and Shang-Chi, and for a few females, here we have Yelena, the leader of the New Avengers of course, and then Black Panther Shuri, and here we have Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, Charles Xavier, Professor X, and Logan Wolverine. Back into the world of comics, we have Doctor Doom and the Silver Surfer, and I can't wait to see what Robert Downey Jr. looks like as Doctor Doom. We will get a Marvel Legend in the coming years. Maybe there'll be a tease in Fantastic Four. And here we have Johnny Storm next to Beast and of course the Maximum Hulk. Ah, you thought I did it again, didn't ya? Like an idiot, I called him Maximum Hulk in my last video and people think they're funny in the comments. Well, it's obviously Maximum Spider-Man, I just misspoke for God's sake. And here we have Deadpool and Black Widow. Wrapping up with some of the Who crew, we've got Frogman and Tigra. And of course, last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. So, final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Fantastic Four. First steps, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. But this is flamed off Johnny Storm. This is just regular civilian Johnny Storm in his matching Fantastic Four uniform to pair with the rest of Marvel's first family. He does complement them really well, to be fair, with his unique elements. And the figure's grown on me, especially that likeness. It's not perfect, but like the rest of the figures in this wave, it's not as bad as some people make out online. There's something wrong with the hair length, in my opinion. His hair is definitely not that thick in the trailer, so it's just putting me off a little bit. But other than that, it's a nice figure. It's just the effect pieces are a little bit boring, to be honest. These are things we've seen in the Marvel Legends line for probably a decade plus, so try something different with these flamed on the characters, because it's something fun we could use with other figures as well. So yeah, other than that, I like it. Again, not complaining by any means. It's a nice representation of the source material, at least from what we've seen so far. Still a few weeks out from the movie. If you're watching this review after the movies came out, then let me know. Is it still as good after you've seen the film? Always curious, but if you like Marvel Legends, then you are in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm my next Dan Who reviews. Remember to check out the playlist and check out all the reviews in this wave so far. And I will, of course, see you on the next one.